So with the new SR22 G7 just launched, you might be wondering why you would want to buy a SR22 G1, being what, 20 years older. So today on this video, we're going to take you around the plane to show you exactly why you would buy an SR22 G1. This particular G1 is actually on the market with us at Flightline, so if you want to go and take a look at it, take a look at our website and you'll be able to see the full listing there. When it comes to speed, you may be doing a lot of research online saying Cirrus can do 180 knots and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, they probably can, maybe true airspeed, but indicated airspeed is no more than 164 we've had out of this aircraft. And other Cirrus we've flown, we're not getting past 158 to 160. So in real life, it definitely is more like 160 as a round number. In terms of fuel capacity, this aircraft has got just over 80 gallons of usable fuel. So that gives you around about just over 4 hours of flight time, including reserves, burning around about 18 gallons an hour. Now you could lean it a bit more than that if you want to, but you've got to be a bit careful. So I edge on the side of caution and go with 18 gallons an hour as a good number for flight planning. As you know, Cirrus are quite renowned for their ice protection systems. Now, there's two types of ice protection system you can get on a Cirrus. You can get TKS, which is preventative ice protection. So if you get yourself caught in a situation, it will help you out and stop you building up a certain amount of ice on the airframe. And then you can get the ones that are FIKI, which is flight into known icing, which actually means you have a bit more kit on board, a few more ice panels, and it's actually certified to then fly in the ice itself. So you can take off and plan for it, then go into it. Whereas this system on this one is just TKS. But the good thing about the TKS is it's light, a lot lighter than FIKI, because you've got a lot more pumps and a lot more systems on the FIKI system, which means you're carrying around less weight for something you're only going to use hardly any, really. I mean, if you really think about how many times you're actually going to fly in ice, most general aviation pilots or owners are only going to fly it maybe once in 50 in ice. So to sum it up, don't buy something that you're only going to use 10% of the time. If you've got the budget, then fair enough, right? And you're not bothered about the money, but most people want to be careful with their budget, so only buy what you really need. So to talk about it in particular, this has just undergone a 70 grand inspection, which is probably one of the largest inspections it will ever have in its life. So in terms of how that 70 grand was spent on the annual, it had a fresh parachute, which at the moment Cirrus are actually having problems with getting parts for. So it's a really good thing it's just got that. That was 23 grand, that parachute, which is a hell of a lot of money and a hell of a lot of value added to the aircraft for the next 10 years. Secondly, it had a full top-end overhaul. Even though it didn't actually need a full top-end overhaul, the engine's only done 500 hours. But due to the engineers finding some pooling of oil in a couple of the cylinders, we decided to overhaul the whole top end of the engine to make it fresh for the new buyer. So since that top-end overhaul, it's only been about 25 hours since then. So you're getting a fresh top-end overhaul as well. So let's talk a bit more about the engine itself. The engine is a 310 horsepower IO 550, which is actually the same engine, give or take, that they use in the brand new G7. So you're getting like for like there, which is great. That engine was overhauled in 2016, a full zero-timed overhaul, not just top end. And since then, it's done about 500 hours roughly. Being a 2003 airframe, the airframe's only got just over 2,000 hours in its total time, which is really low. Yes, it's an early Cirrus SR22, they only came out in what, 2000 maybe? But being an early model means it's got less stuff in it compared to the new ones, right? So that means it gives you a better useful load and actually makes the aircraft a bit faster than all the other SR22s. Now to the cabin. This Cirrus comfortably seats 4 people and 4 adults actually, because I'm 6 foot and I fit quite comfortably in this, and actually I need to pull myself forward quite a lot of the time to be able to touch the pedals properly. So you can see there's quite a lot of space in the back for the rear passengers. When it comes to avionics in this particular Cirrus, this one I actually really like, because if you're a pilot coming from normal aircraft, like flying normal PA-28s, normal PA-32s, Cessnas and that sort of stuff, you're not always used to the screens and the G1000s and the Avionics and that sort of stuff. So for me, transitioning into this aircraft, as it's half and half, I really liked it because this was all familiar to me and I knew it really well, which means I got to know the aircraft really quickly, and then this I can learn as we go. And this is an Avionics Flightline system. This is actually really good for its age, to be fair. I mean, you've got maps on here, which then overlays traffic and lightning as well. And the traffic's actually really, really accurate. And then you can easily switch to your engine page. So you can see all of your T's and P's very quickly, your fuel flow, how much time you've got remaining, how much fuel you've used, the outside air temperature, electrical system, and all sorts of stuff. And that's then doubled up with the normal gauges on the right-hand side there. Additionally to that, you've got the built-in checklists. So you've got all of your pre-flight inspection before takeoff checklists, all there, which you can tap through. Really helpful. You've got your emergency checklist all built in, emergency airspeeds, shows you what you can fly at if you have an emergency landing or anything like that, or an in-flight emergency. And then you can just flick back to it like that if you want to quickly check your map or quickly go back to your engine. That is what I really like about this aircraft. So that's this part of the panel. Coming down here, we've got two Garmin 430Ws, they're both WAS, which is good. And they've also got traffic and storm scope built into them as well. We then have a Garmin GTX 330 Mode S transponder. And then the thing I really like about this is the S-Tech 55X autopilot with the pre-select, which is actually on the panel just up here. So you can pre-select your altitude to climb or descend, then choose the rate you want to climb or descend, and then press VS mode and ELT mode at the same time, and it will climb or descend for you and then level off. And finally, you've got this Sandell 3308, which is a bit of an old bit of kit, but actually I really like it because what it does, it actually mirrors your route from the Avionics here onto the screen just here, and also mirrors the airfields. It can mirror storm scope, it mirrors traffic, and you've got lots of different views there, which is a really nice combination with all the other avionics in the aircraft. So I'll tell you what I absolutely love about this aircraft, and it's the smallest thing you can ever think of. The drinks holders. Look at this, unbelievable. You pull this down, lovely drinks holder, and a little baggage compartment in the front there for your phone or whatever you want to do. What a feature for Cirrus, awesome. So to sum things up for you, let me ask you this. Would you want to spend $1.3 million on a brand new Cirrus, or spend just under $300,000 on nearly the same thing? So there's two reasons why you'd buy this aircraft really. One for business and one for personal use. For business, this is the perfect aircraft if you just want to travel around the country. Like for us, for instance, we can do 5 meetings in one day, still be home for dinner, and you can fly up the country in an hour and a half. It's awesome. For personal use, you might want to take your family down to south of France. La Rochelle from Kent is 2 hours in this aircraft. So all in all, it all depends about your mission and budget. This thing can do the same mission as a new Cirrus for a quarter of the budget. And that is what we want to try and get across to you today in this video. Finally, if you're interested in this particular aircraft, go to our website, www.flightlineaviation.co.uk. Please subscribe to our channel, like the video, and if you can comment, we would really like it. But thanks very much for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one.